Hi cyclists, it's Nancy from East Bank Club, and we are about to do a killer cycling workout today. So on your bike right now, I want you to just get started warming up. Let's try and bring the RPM on your bike to about 90 cadence. Now 90 cadence, if you're new to cycling, could feel very, very tough. And most beginning cyclists pedal at a lower cadence with more resistance because they count on their leg strength to get through the workout. But we want this to be a cardiorespiratory workout. So although I promise your legs are going to be pretty tired today, I want to make sure that you get an easy enough gear right now where you have a chance to warm up and get to that 90 cadence. In a warm-up, there are a couple things we really want to think about. The first thing is that often we get on the bike and our shoulders are tight, so I want you to just relax that upper body. Most cyclists will look completely still from the waist up, and really nothing is going on other than they're supporting their upper body barely with their upper body, but they're really working their lower body. Smooth out your pedal stroke, keep making that beautiful ellipsis, and keep that 90 cadence right where we want you to be. Let that upper body relax and settle in. Hopefully by now you're feeling like you're at about 70% of your max, so that's getting right to that green zone, and it feels pretty good. In about 15 seconds, we're gonna start to build some resistance, and we're gonna end up building to about 60 cadence, so that's our first hill. So in 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, I want you to add either a gear, a turn to the right, whatever you need to start to feel your legs slow down like you're hitting a hill. We're going to do that a few more times, so you can warm up into it. But you should automatically feel those legs slow down, and now you feel like, now those quads are burning a little bit. That's good. In another 5 seconds, we're going to turn it up again. So 3, 2, 1, go ahead and add another gear, maybe another level, another turn, and we never want to go under 60 RPM or 60 cadence. That just stands for revolutions per minute. And that's a pretty good place to be on a climb. So if you slow down now and you feel your heart rate's coming up, your breathing's getting a little tougher, and you're closing in on that 60 cadence, we're in the right place. We're going to do it again in 3, 2, 1, add some resistance. So hopefully now our effort is starting to get to the higher green zone. We're starting to get closer to our threshold power. If you know what that is, you're looking at the watts and it's someplace where you know that that is your threshold place. We're going to add resistance one more time to make sure that you're on a hill. So in 5 seconds, let's add some resistance. Ready? 3, 2, 1, add that resistance. Now you can really feel like you're on that climb. So here with the climb, let's focus on using those hamstrings. And I don't mind on the climb in the next interval if you feel like you want to get out of the saddle as we go. We're going to do 4 intervals, pushing 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds. The 30 seconds is going to be at our 60 RPMs. Then we've got 20 seconds. I need you to bring that RPM, that cadence number, up to 70. For 10 seconds, you're going to push at 80 RPM. After that 10 seconds, we'll drop back to 60 cadence again and start our series all over again for a total of 4 sets. So if you have the right resistance at 60 cadence, you're working pretty hard, you're good. If not, add one more little bit of resistance right now, and you're going to give me 30 seconds at this 60 cadence. Smooth out your pedal stroke. Use your hamstrings. Let your upper body relax and keep pulling the pedal back and kicking over that pedal. 60 feels very steady. In 10 seconds, here comes the work. We're going to bring your cadence without doing anything else to 70 RPM. In 3, 2, 1, give me 70 RPM. Don't touch the resistance. You're just pushing those legs even harder. Keep going at 70. Don't let it drop under 70. It's going to start to get hard right about now, but you've got one more time. In 5 seconds, we're going to work to 80 cadence. 3, 2, 1. 80 cadence. If you need to get out of the saddle, you can do it. Keep driving that 80 cadence. This is going to be the tough part. You've got 3, 2, 1. Without changing anything, back to 60 cadence. So steady it up again. You're on your climb. Your climb isn't changing for another 3 minutes. So let's just get used to it and keep on climbing at 60 RPM. You should start to see some heart rate elevation now, and you should be working well over your threshold with power in these sets. We're about to bring it up to 70 cadence again in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 70 cadence. Let's go. You got this. You're stronger than you think in these, and I know those legs are feeling it. But I can guarantee you this is one of my favorite workouts to build acceleration and to build power and speed when you're on that bike. You hold that 70 cadence for 3, 2, 1. Guess what? It's time for 80. If you need to get out of the saddle right now, do it. You got to push right now. It's only 5 more seconds. Stay with me. 3, 2, 1. 60 cadence. Don't touch that resistance. I know you can do this. Keep on 60 cadence on that climb. Let your upper body relax for a second. Don't let this climb get the best of you. We've still got a couple more accelerations. When I was in France doing an Ironman, this is where they'd all go, "Allez, allez, allez!" And that's what we're going to do right now. I would feel like I was in the Tour de France. It was cool. You ready for that 70 cadence? We're going to do it. Allez, let's go. 70 cadence. Keep pushing now. You got this. 70. Don't go 1 under 70 RPMs. Keep pushing. I know that power is working hard. You've only got 5 more seconds here, and then we're about to push. 2, 1, give me 80 cadence. What can those legs do? You really got to drive them now. Keep driving at that 80 cadence. If you need to get out of the saddle, you can do it. You're going to hold that for 2, 1, 60 cadence. Back to that steady climb. You didn't touch the resistance. Isn't it nice not to have to touch that resistance? Because this climb has another 50 seconds in it, and it is all yours. Hold that 60. You feel steady, like you could keep going up this climb, but you're going to attack the very last part of it. Your 70 cadence comes in 2, 1, go. Get it, 70 cadence. Now, let those legs drive. I know they're tired now. There's nothing that's going to keep you under 70. Keep pushing. 70 cadence. You're watching RPM, 70. Get them moving, get them moving. Ready for the last attack? 2, 1, 80 cadence. Can you get that 80 cadence? Maybe even here I can see 85. For this last 5 seconds, can you give me 90 cadence? Push through. You've got 3, 2, 1. Bring that resistance down. Whew. You did it. You've got 4 minutes to recover now. And that is wonderful. So this is a good chance. Grab some water. Find your 90 RPMs again. And focus on your pedal stroke. Again, I want you to think about pulling back. You've got that hamstring working. Your seat's not bouncing on the saddle. So you can feel comfortable. And let's let that heart rate drop down again to the blue or green zone. Sometimes I think people feel like they're not doing something if they drop into a recovery zone. But because I'm going to ask you to work really hard again, I really want you to recover. So take a second, find that 90 cadence, find a comfortable place, and if you can't hit 90 RPM, go ahead, bring the resistance down a little bit. You'll have plenty of time to keep working. Our next set is going to be pretty tough because we've got a Tabata set coming up. And if you've done a Tabata set before, you know that you're in for a big treat. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do. A Tabata set is basically a better VO2 max interval set. And the reason for it is a VO2 max set is typically 4 minutes, all you can do. If you did 4 minutes, all you could do on the bike and noticed your heart rate, it would be high. If you looked at your average power, that'd probably be your power for your VO2 max. And that's about 120% of what you could do for an hour. The nice thing about that is when you're working your VO2 max, you're building your work capacity, and you're also going to improve endurance just because your capacity to work and recover faster is going to help you out in the long run. So the Tabata set is 4 minutes, but instead of going 4 minutes all out, it's 20 seconds all you got with a 10-second recovery 8 times. Now the thing is, 20 seconds all you got is pretty hard. So I know that if you find 8 of those really challenging, here's what I want you to do. You're going to go as hard as you can for as long as you can. If you need to take a break on one of the intervals, you can do that. But I really want you to feel like you're going to accelerate every single time. So when we get there, I want you to put yourself back into that work gear that we had used earlier. That's going to be where you held 60 RPMs and you were on that hill. Or if you know where you need to be to start out at 60 RPMs at your threshold power, that's where you're going to be. From there, your goal is, for that 20 seconds, to get 80 to 100 RPMs in your 20 seconds. For Tabata sets, I like to get out of the saddle because that's how I would attack. And if that helps you, that's completely fine. Typically, I get out of the saddle until my legs have accelerated enough, and then I sit back down and try and hold that cadence for the rest of the 20 seconds. I also try and look at my average power every time, so I know that my workload stays the same. If you're on a bike that measures distance for your 20 seconds, you can do that too and just try and achieve the same distance every 20 seconds. We're going to go in 15 seconds, so it's time to start adding your resistance. We've got 5 seconds until you're in the right gear, and in 3, 2, 1, go. You've got to get to 80 to 100 cadence right now, and you're driving as hard as you can. Don't pace these. This is about you being strong, working your acceleration, and getting max capacity here. 5 more seconds. Hang on to it. 2, 1, rest. I don't care if you bring the resistance down, but it's only 5 seconds. You got to get back there in 5. We're going to start the next interval in 3, 2, 1, go. This is it again. Driving 80 to 100 cadence. Push your max capacity. This is the one you want to pace, but don't pace it. Keep pushing. You've got to drive here. All you got, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. On this rest interval, if you want to stop your feet, that is just fine. We're going in 5. That'll be number 3. 2, 1, go. Keep pushing. Get to that 80, 90, 100 cadence. You do not want to slow down here, and you don't want to pace. Keep trying the best you can. You've got only 7 more seconds here. Push through. Stay strong. 2, 1, rest. Whew. You've got 5 to go. We're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Like you stole it now. 80 to 100 RPMs. You've got to keep trying. Don't let even one of these intervals get away from you. This is your chance. This is your day today. This is your half hour to get it. You've got 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, rest. You're halfway. That's a good place to be. Those are 4 intervals you don't have to do again. But you're going again in 2, 1, go. Yes, push. Maybe you're out of the saddle. You want to look that power you're pushing is exactly the same. By now, you should be in the high yellow zone to your red zone for your heart rate. So that's 85% plus to your max heart rate. Keep driving. 2, 1, rest. 3 more. I know these are the toughest 3. You are strong enough to get it. 2, 1, go. Leave it here right now. Don't pace it. Don't even think about those last 2. You're going to think about what you've got right now and how those legs can go as hard as you can. If you can hit 110 RPMs, you do it. 5 seconds. Stay on that attack. Stay on for 2, 1, rest. Only 2 more. This is where the real test comes, and I know you've got it. Let's go. 2, 1, go. In the saddle, out of the saddle, let's see those legs move. Do not slow down. Stay on this as long as you can. I know you want to let those legs quit. We are not going to let them quit today. You're going to keep pushing. It's only 5 more seconds. What do you have here for 3, 2, 1, rest. There's 1 more. This is the one. Let your max power get higher than ever. 3, 2, 1, go. It's 20 seconds. Keep pushing. Maybe this time you can get 95 RPMs. Maybe you can get 100. Maybe you can get 105. Maybe you're going to stay out of the saddle the whole time. Maybe your max power numbers are bigger than they've ever been. This is it. You've got 5 seconds to show everybody what is in you, and I know it's a lot. 2, 1, rest. Whew. Bring down that resistance. Catch your breath. And as soon as you can, try and find 90 RPM. That was awesome. I can tell you, I don't like doing Tabata sets. I don't think anybody does, but it is one of the things that always makes me a better, stronger cyclist. And even though it's awful, I do see the difference when I do it. I also think it's fun to see if you are on a bike that tracks your distance, how far you go in that 4 minutes, and then maybe if you do it again in another workout or next week, you see if you can beat that distance in that Tabata set. I think that's always fun to see where you're at week to week, or in a month you try it again and see if you've gotten stronger. And I bet if you do this regularly, you're going to see that you get more work done. So by now, hopefully, you're starting to feel like your heart rate's come down a little bit and you've caught your breath. That's great. Make sure you grab some water too. We've got a couple more treats for you. For the next set, we're going to go 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. That means 30 seconds at 90 to 100 or 110 RPMs in 30 seconds, either in easy gear or you can slow those legs down as much as you need to. We're going to repeat that 30 on, 30 off 4 times. In 30 seconds, I find this just about the right time to be able to really push in that 30 seconds up to that red zone. So if you have your threshold watts, you know what those are. Your goal here is to be above 120% of that threshold for the 30 seconds. That's going to be a challenge. If you're working with heart rate, like I said, in these 30 seconds, your goal is to at least be knocking on the door of that red zone or that 90% zone. It is uncomfortable, but again, this is where you're going to get the payback because it's work capacity. If you can go up a hill and recover on the quick downhill, you're going to be ready to get back on the next hill faster than anybody else. And that is what we're doing this for. So we've got about 90 more seconds of recovery. Hopefully your heart rate is recovered now and you're in the blue or green zone again. So 60 to 75% max heart rate. The other thing, it feels like you're just back on a flat, you're at 90 RPM, and you feel comfortable again. So in about 75 seconds, we're going to go back to our work gear, and you should be pretty familiar with what that gear is now. Now, I said you were going to be 80 to 100 cadence. Now we're going to try and make sure that you are over 90 the entire time. So I know that's going to be hard and your legs are going to want to slow down, but your goal is to keep driving through, use your work out of the saddle if you need to, but keep that cadence up and keep driving. It's a 30-second attack. Sometimes you see, if you watch the Tour de France, you watch them attack and maybe they go for 30 seconds, but maybe on this you can kind of dream a little that you're in the Tour. So let's start bringing that resistance up to that tough gear. You've got about 20 seconds to get there. And about 15 seconds. So now if that cadence slows down to 60 like it wants to, that's fine. Because in 10 seconds, we're going to go 90 to 100. This is a real attack. Don't leave anything behind. We're going in 2, 1, go. Get to that 90 cadence right now. If you can hold 95, if you can hold 100, if you can hold 105, this is it. You're pushing as hard as you can right now. 20 seconds. It's the attack. This is your breakaway. Break away and make sure you get distance between you and your competitors. Drive through for 10 seconds. Maybe it's time you got out of the saddle. Maybe it's time you're sick, going to put your head down and push. You're going to push for 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. You get to rest. You can slow your cadence down. You can bring the gearing down. Either way, that gearing comes back up for the next set in 20 seconds. So I'll give you plenty of time to get ready for it. But do what you need to do to recover. You're back at the interval in 12 seconds. So, time to get back into that gear. Time to figure out how you're going to push through this. Time to tell yourself you can. I know you can. You know you can. 2, 1, go. Second attack. This is it. Everybody behind you started to catch up on their recovery, so it's time again to show them who owns this attack. It's you. You're getting there with that drive. Maybe now you're going to get to 95 RPMs. This is the time. Don't hold back. You've got 10 seconds. Bring it up to 95 RPMs. Bring it up to 97, 98, 100 if you can. Keep pushing. 2, 1, recover. Whew. So the recovery, again, don't worry about the power. Don't worry about the cadence. Make your performance about that 30 seconds. You've got another one coming up in 16, 15 seconds. Whew. So back into that gear. Back into that attack mode in your head. 5 seconds. Back in that gear. 3, 2, 1, attack. Now, drive 90 cadence, 95 cadence, 100 RPMs. Keep driving those legs. Don't let them stop. This is when you build that leg strength. This is when those quads are crying. This is when you want to stop, but you're not going to stop. You've got 10 seconds. Look at that power. Look how big that power you're pushing is. Hang on with me for 3, 2, 1, rest. There's only one more. Isn't that awesome? One more. So get ready for this one. 20 seconds and we're at that last attack. 15 seconds. Gear up as you need. Remind yourself why you're here, why you're doing the workout. I know you can. Remind yourself that you can. We're attacking in 2, 1, attack. Bring it home right now. This is like your sprint home. You're going to stay on this. If you need to push out of the saddle, get out of the saddle. Pump those legs now. Keep pumping them. You can pull on those handlebars a little bit, pulling up to help you press those legs down. Accelerate on those legs right now. 10 seconds. Keep driving. Put your head down. Drive for 5. Legs as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1. Bring your resistance down. You did it. Whew. I'm telling you, those 30-30s are pretty tough. And that is another one of my favorites. I love working that capacity because you feel so accomplished after you do that. And sometimes I look at the power number and I think, I did that? That makes me feel so good about myself. And I know when you look at that power number right now, you look at what you were doing in those 30 seconds, you can be proud of that. A lot of people who are just riding on the lakefront, they never ever get the feeling of knowing how they could perform. And maybe this summer you're going to get out on the lakefront and ride, and for that 30 seconds you're going to pass everybody on the lakefront. Even though it's just on the lakefront and you get to say on your left, it feels so good. And I'm not even above passing, somebody a lot older than me. Just to say on your left and feel good about myself. I know, it's a little pathetic, but whatever it takes, right? So right now, you're getting back to that 90 cadence, and it's a good time to really just let that recovery really just sink in, let your heart rate drop. We're going to start to push again, and we've got 2 more pushes. So in another 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you to go all out, and we're going to go for 1 minute. I'm going to give you a little bit of time off, and we're going to do it again. So back in that gear in 15 seconds, you're going to measure maybe your speed, maybe your average power, maybe your distance. I want you to try and go as hard as you can, and then I'm going to let you try and beat this minute. So this is you. In 5 seconds, we start this. This is your 1 minute race. Ready, 2, 1, go. Push as hard as you can. It's a minute, which is an infinity when you're pushing as hard as you can. But now we're going to leave it here. I want you to know that you gave it all you got on this minute. Keep driving through as hard as you can. Can you bring your speed up? Can that heart rate come up anymore? Can you bring your cadence or that RPM up? Maybe you can even add more resistance. What can you do to go harder for 25 seconds? This is going to be your 1 minute sprint, 20 seconds. Keep driving. Keep pushing. 15 seconds. Keep going with all you have. 10 seconds. Breathe. Drive. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Recover. Great job on that minute all out. We've got 60 seconds to recover. Bring your resistance down. If you remember your power on that, I want you to beat it. I want you to beat your speed on this next one. I want you to beat your distance on this next one. We've got about 30 seconds left. You'll find out if you were pacing on that first one. And here's the good thing. If you can't beat it, I know you went all out on that first one. But we're going to hit this in 10 seconds. It's one more effort. Put it in the gear you want. Take a big breath. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This is your last minute. Keep driving. The race is over. The finish line is ahead, and I want you to sprint to the finish. This could be for the stage. This could be what makes you the champion today, the champion in your own race. We're racing against what you can do at this moment. I know you're strong. I want you to remind yourself that you're strong for this next 30 seconds. There's nothing you can't do for this next 30 seconds. Head down, pushing those legs for the next 20 seconds. Can you make it harder? Can you add a little bit more resistance? Can you increase that leg speed? Can you get out of the saddle and push? You are almost there. You've got 10 seconds to the end of this push. Keep driving those legs. Push as hard as you can for 4, 3, 2, 1. You made it. Congratulations. That was a stage win. Bring your resistance down. Let your heart rate recover. Take a big breath. Pat yourself on the back. If you want, you can bring your arms up like you're the stage champion. I sometimes do that. And I'm going to admit I don't do that very well on my real bike. I try to ride without my hands. I'm not very good. But on a bike inside, you can do it. You can just bring those arms up, give me a big champion, and take as long as you need to cool down. Right now might be a good idea to record your distance or your average power, even your max power. That'll give you something to beat next time. If you can remember your 1 minute distance, you can beat that as well. We always want to make sure that we're improving ourselves, whether that's the overall total distance or in each of these little sets, you pick something that you really want to attack, and next time you come, you're going to beat that set that you did. You did such a great job today. Thank you for riding with me. And make sure that you get the time to let that heart rate recover. Get off the bike when your heart rate's recovered to the blue or green zone. You feel like you can breathe comfortably. And then make sure you stretch. Quads, they're going to be a little tired. If you want, you can stretch your hamstrings, hips, and your calves off the bike. And give yourself a pat on the back. That was a really hard workout. Thanks for riding with me. I'll see you next time.